with another video on trying to extract a big XML file. I think if you guys watched my previous video, you'll probably know what I'm doing, but basically we're trying to go through an XML file which contains jobs. And in this particular instance, I'm trying to get a hash digest for each job. So for example, we'll take title, description, location, country, and company name, company details, and all that, and we're trying to concatenate that into a string and get a hash. And why do we want a hash? We want a hash because we have stored the hash in the database, and we want to get a list of hash from the file itself, so we can compare the two hashes. If there is a hash in the database but it's not in the XML file, that that indicates that the job has been removed from the XML file. What that means is that we will de-index the job, basically remove that from the database. The job has been expired or it's been removed. Basically, that's what we were trying to do. So we're gonna just compare two hashes. But the challenge here is that we need to get the hash from the file itself as well. Okay, so I wrote this class here. Nothing crazy here. We initialize the class, start element, end element, and then we append the hash. This is where we create the hash. As you can see, make hash from job, which is a helper function in another file. It just takes the data and returns the MD5 digest of all the entries, at least just the entries for that particular job, right? That's all it does. And then it just append that to the hashes list, and then we'll get the hash list in the end, depending on where we're invoking this class. For now, I'm just invoking the class from a test file. So this is the class jobs.xml, and we initialize the class here, and then we set the content handler for the parser, which is that class itself, and then we start the parsing, and at the end we kind of count how many hashes we have, which well, I don't think we need that, but let me actually show you why I'm making this video. And there is a mistake in this code here. I'll just show you the code. There is a technical error. Basically, it's not going to throw an error itself, but it will eat a lot of the memory, and you will see it basically now. Maybe what I'll do, if I just invoke this function right now, it's probably not going to do anything. Yes, right, it's not doing anything. It just says reading from the file, but not doing anything else. But let's just initialize a variable, because only then I can show you what I'm trying to show you. Self dot what do we call this? Maybe row num equals 0, and then at the end of the element, let's just increment self dot row num plus equals 1. Okay, and let's print self dot row num. I think we're doing everything fine so far. What I'll actually do here as well, I want to show you something, is that we start at the top. As we know, the SAX parser in Python, it goes through line by line. That's how it is able to be memory efficient. So it goes line by line. It doesn't just read the whole file all of a sudden, and but yeah, that's the point. It goes line by line. That's the most important thing. Initialize. Okay, we initialize the class, the handler. That's our class. Okay, and it implements content handler. So we have to add certain methods, which is fine. But anyway, what I want to show you here in the character function is invoked when the parser is going through the characters in a row. So for example, if the job title is software engineer, the character will be invoked when it's over S and then O and then T until it has gone through the whole line of characters. So what we're trying to do here is actually, as it's going through the row, we are actually appending each character. So self.title right, we are appending character. This is just so we can build the whole entire string, right? So when it's on the first title element, it'll go through each character. It'll append each character to the string, and we at the end, when it reaches end element, we'll have the entire line. We have the entire job title, software engineer, and then we do this for the other rows as well. That's how it works. So here, okay, now that I've showed you how it works, so here I'm just incrementing, and I'm gonna just invoke it so you can actually see, so we can actually see where we are in the file, and yeah, I think that's the important part. We want to see where we're in the file, and we also want to get an idea of how fast or slow the process is running, right? So I'll just run this. Yeah, let's see. As you can see, it has reached 6,000 rows, 7, 10,000. Let's keep looking at it. 11, 12. As you can see at this point, at 15K, it's going at decent speed from what I see. I think we have 67,000 rows in that file, so we have reached 20. But if you pay attention now, it's become really slow. Like 22, it's very slow. That's not fast at all. And if the file is bigger, it'll take ages. And if I'm doing more things than just getting hash, this will be a problem, because this is gonna execute on Lambda function, and I don't want Lambda function to be running forever or timeout. I think the max timeout is 15 minutes if I'm not wrong. But anyways, as you can see, look, it's 26K, 26, 26, 26, 26, 26. It's stuck at 26. I'm gonna just stop it for now, and let's look at the code. What's happening here? I commented out actually hashing function, because I was under impression that maybe it's the hashing function. Maybe hash takes very long. Maybe it takes very long to create a hash of a string. I'm not sure. I never heard about that, but maybe it takes long. But if you look at the function itself, it's not doing a lot of crazy things here. It's a simple function. It can run in the memory. It takes the data. It's not even reading the data from a file, or not doing any input output operation or anything like that. That's all it's doing. It's just concatenating the string and then making a hash out of it. So why is this so slow? I don't know. So what I ended up finding out was that as we are building these strings here in the characters, we go character by character. Like I said, it'll start with self. It'll start with first character and then go and then keep appending until we reach the end. But what we are not doing here is that we're not clearing the string. So when it reaches the end, so software engineer, so when it reaches R, yeah, we'll have the entire string. We'll have the entire job title. Yeah, okay. In the title, we'll have the whole job title, software engineer, because it goes character by character. Okay. Once it reaches the end, then we're gonna have other functions run, other string built, so company name and all that stuff. But once it reaches the end element, so it has gone through title, description, location, it reaches the job, which is the parent. So we know it's reached the end of the element, which is what we're doing here. When it reaches the job, what we're not doing here is we're not clearing the string. We keep appending to the title. And when it goes through to the next parent, it starts with the title again, and we keep appending to that title, and we're never clearing it. So that's what's happening here. It keeps appending, keeps appending, keeps appending. That's why it starts very fast, because the size of the string is small, and then it gets slower at the end. Like I showed you at 26K, it starts to slow down like crazy. So what I was missing here, it was actually just, it was a silly mistake. We needed to clear the strings. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the best place to clear the string, which is this. Perhaps after it has created the hash, we can clear the string. perhaps here. Yeah, let me just look, and I'll try to execute this again. I think it'll work. Start element, we don't need to, once it's starting, we don't need to clear the string. Once it's in the characters, obviously not, because we're still building the characters. And obviously initialize, we don't need to do it there. So I'm gonna just try executing this again, and let's see. Okay, so as you can see now, like straight away actually, it's just gone through the entire file in 2 seconds. And as I told you, it has 67,000 rows, and it's pretty quick. Now what I'm gonna also do now at this point, I'm gonna also just append the hash to the hashes list, and I want to see how many hashes are there in the end. I think the code is okay, but let's see. Okay, all right. Okay, it's taking a little longer, couple seconds. Okay, it does tell me it has 67,460, which is correct. So that was the mistake here. We were not clearing the strings. I was under the impression that there was something else, some other function causing the process to be really slow. But yeah, silly mistakes. But yeah, also like God, I think I'm gonna make some progress on this over the weekend. But that's where we are. Yeah, I hope you guys have a nice weekend. Bye.